Well, happy Monday. It's April 3rd, 2023, and welcome to the Great Distraction. Tomorrow is, well, before the Great Distraction of Trump. Today, let's talk about today. Today at, what is it, 2:50 Eastern Time. Well, 2:50 Eastern Time is when it's slated for. But anyway, Fox Business has a show. Charles Payne is the host, and he's had Miss Teen Crypto on a couple of times before. But today, she announced in her show that she's going to be live in studio with Charles Payne, Fox Business, at 2:50 Eastern Time. Now, the show runs from 2 to 3, so I recorded it in case I miss any of it, because she may be on earlier. She may be on at 2:30 Eastern Time. Go check that out. Great information. Young gal. Can I say gal anymore? Great young lady. I know her father. I know her. Great people. And she is spreading the word of crypto, trying to educate people, try to educate the younger generations as far as what cryptocurrency is and why it's important. She gets it. Check her out on Charles Payne Fox Business today at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, back to the Trump distraction. She's in New York, and Trump's going to be in New York, and they're shutting down a block, and that's the news. They've got international reporters everywhere lined up, ready, and you're going to see all the shots, and Trump is now, it's like an O.J. Simpson deal or something. And Trump is now rounding the corner, and now he's going here, he's going there, and it looks like he's about to emerge from the SUV, and it's going to be all this hype, this ridiculousness. Meanwhile, we've got the Saudis, Saudi Arabia, and other countries have cut oil production. Now, why is this important? The only thing that backed the dollar, well, we got rid of the gold standard in 1971, but that wasn't for the people. That was for other countries. Nixon closed that window. I think it was August 15th, 1971. Prior to that, we still had silver coinage. 1964, we had silver in our coins. And you keep going back, and the constitutional dollar standard, based on silver. But that's all gone. So nothing backs the U.S. dollar. In fact, it's not even a U.S. dollar anymore. It's a Federal Reserve note. It comes out of the Federal Reserve. It was created in 1913. Gonna fix all the problems. No more panics. No more worried about all these banks that go under. We got a centralized system, the Federal Reserve, baby. We're gonna keep you safe. And the U.S. still confiscated gold back in 1933, I think it was Roosevelt. Then immediately revalued it up after they confiscated it from the people, so robbing you of your wealth once again. But what has backed up the Federal Reserve note and given it a use case since 1971, let's say? Oil. We've been on a petrodollar standard. In other words, hey, Saudi Arabia, we're going to make you this deal. I know you have problems in the Middle East. It's kind of a hotbed of activity. A lot of tensions over there. What we're going to do, we're going to use the military, the U.S. military, to protect you. And in return, you're going to give us all the oil. Well, in fact, not give us all the oil, but essentially you're going to back up the dollar with oil, because all the oil that you sell, you're going to take dollars for it. And everybody that buys oil anywhere else, you're going to take dollars for it. So it created this demand for the dollar. And if you didn't go along with it, like Gaddafi, Hussein, Saddam Hussein, not Barack Hussein, no coincidences. If you don't go along with it, you bear the brunt and the full force of the U.S. military. And we'll make an excuse to go in there and take you out. Won't be because you're going off the dollar standard. It might be because you might be dumping babies out of incubators. You might have weapons of mass destruction. You might be a terrorist-sponsored state. Whatever. It's all about the dollar. Okay, so that propped up the dollar, the fact that everybody bought oil with dollars. Well, guess what? Saudi Arabia is now saying, we're going to cut production. I know you want to keep it low, and it's better for your economy, but you know what? We're just gonna tighten the supply up a little bit. We don't care what you say. And in fact, we're gonna build a petroleum factory in China. And we're going to ship our oil over there, refine it in China, and we're going to take the Chinese money for it. We're not going to take the dollar. And you're starting to see more and more countries do that. If the dollar, the Federal Reserve note, if it doesn't have the use case where it's necessary to buy oil with it, what value does it have? Because they're just going to keep creating dollars out of nothing. Trillions, keep printing trillions, creating trillions and trillions and trillions. And if there's no artificial demand for it, like oil, what's that? Where's that leave the dollar? Doesn't leave it in a good spot. So right now we're seeing the complete destruction of the dollar-based system. The artificial demand that was based on the petrodollar is now gone. The pegs are getting pulled, they're getting broken, but we're focused on Trump showing up. And that's the big news. It's like we're watching tabloids and that's it. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, this is what's really going on. We're destroying your lifestyle. We're taking your energy because we're vampires. We're going to let it bleed out. So we've got that. It comes out today that, well, you know, that Chinese drone that flew over, yeah, it was actually reporting data back in real time back to China. Yeah, oh well. Yeah, we shot it down, though, after it went over the entire United States. It's all good. No worries. Nothing to see here. So we've got that. We've got everybody moving away from the dollar. And we're told that, you know, we got to strengthen the dollar. Got to raise interest rates. Got to, you know, keep the dollar strong. Well, there's nothing that can be done at this point. See, the end game is here. It's already gone. We don't have anything that backs it. Now, this new FedNow system that they're going to roll us into, there are people who say that, hey, you know what? White hats are taking control. They've hijacked the system, and they're going to bring us back into more sound money to where the bad guys aren't going to be able to transact because we've got this standard, though, from international organization. Hey, that'd be great. I'd love to see a dollar that you could transfer 24/7, something that you could use, you know, in our banking system. Problem is, you don't have custody of it. You don't have ownership of it. And I don't care what token it's going to be going on or used. If it's still in their system, I'm done with it. There's middlemen involved. And, you know, you can put all the glue you want, all the scotch tape, duct tape, whatever kind of tape you want on that system. It's still that system. It's still their vampire casino. So I'm not going to take that gamble that it's going to work out because there's already an option to get out of it. You got gold, silver, crypto, good crypto to get out of it. Bitcoin, Litecoin, DigiByte, not in that order. So take a look at that stuff. Realize you're getting gamed because you are. Got a dog here at my feet and she's tangling up. Hang on. There we go. Messing up my game, baby. Why you got to be doing that? So anyway, a lot of this is just theater and they're trying to distract you. Look over here while this is happening. I mean, what's happening is devastating. It really is. It's devastating to the retirement, Social Security. I just read 2033 Social Security Trust Fund. That's the last time they're going to be able to make 100% of the payments. 10 years from now. After that, and see, it's already been downgraded a year. It was 2034 that it's going to run out of, not run out of money, but not be able to make 100% of the payments that it's obligated to make. So what, and that was 2034, now it's 2033, so they backed it up a year. 10 years. And then they say, well, you know, after that, we might be able to pay out 77% of what we, you know, what we're supposed to pay out. So here I am, 50. You know, I'm counting on my Social Security. That's my retirement. That's my safety net. I get there, I'm 60 years old, and they're like, well, we don't have enough funds to pay it all out. So the next year they pay out, I don't know, I'll say 80% of the funds. Next year it's 75%. By the time I'm not going to be made whole. Everything I paid in, been squandered, gone. Anybody after me, there ain't gonna be nothing left. And if there is, it's gonna be with devalued currency that doesn't buy anything, highly inflated. So you see the end game. You see what's happening. And they're just trying to distract you from all that so that you don't pay attention and you don't exit their system. Just keep playing. Sit down at the poker table. It's fine. Everything's gonna be good. We're taking care of the bad guys. We're getting Trump, baby. It's all good. I just saw that there was a merger, and this kind of goes along with it. The UFC, Ultimate Fighting, and the WWE, World Wrestling. They're merging. They're coming under one umbrella, and Vince McMahon's going to be in charge. Kind of symbolic of what's going on right now. A lot of theater, you know, a lot of acting, a lot of drama, and then behind the scenes, they all go drink, you know, go have a drink, have some scotch, smoke a cigar, and laugh about all of it. We showed them, we fooled them, didn't we? That's where we're at. It's all a big theater. It's all staged. It's all a dog over here getting into stuff that she shouldn't get into. This one here is being pretty good, though. Tilly, anyway, but that's kind of where we're at in this world. You know, a lot of it's staged. I got a few notes here that I wanted to cover. Oh yeah, the United States government selling Bitcoin. That was one thing I wanted to bring up. They sold 10,000 Bitcoin a couple of weeks ago and really didn't move the market. And a lot of this comes from the Mt. Gox exchange that went under, and they just confiscated the Bitcoin essentially and didn't pay back the Bitcoin like all these other exchanges. All the Bitcoin, all the crypto goes away. Well, somebody took possession of it, and in this case in Mt. Gox, the US government took possession of it. And they dumped 10,000 on the market. And see, they use this firepower to try and suppress the price because they know they don't want you to exit the vampire casino. And so they got about 40,000 more, they say, 41,000, that they're gonna strategically throw onto the market when it starts running up. Too many people they're awake here. It's like they live. Too many people can see, they've got the glasses on. We need to distract them. We need to scare them out of the crypto because there's only so much, and we can't let them break free. We can't let them become empowered. We can't let them use their energy to circumvent our system. And so they're gonna do whatever they can. They're gonna do whatever they can to suppress you. Do whatever they can to fear you into not doing what you know you should be doing. That's why you got to trust yourself. Don't trust these people. They are not looking out for your best interest. Strategic oil reserves. I see this. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve. You know, Biden used a bunch of it up to when the gas prices were really high. Well, that'll keep the prices down. And now they're not going to refill it. We'll do it later. I mean, why aren't they buying it when the oil prices have been down and filling it up? They haven't been. So they're basically setting you up. That's all they're doing. It's like this green energy thing. Hey, we don't need any more refineries. Let's shut down all the reliable energy networks and put wind and solar in and subsidize it with fake money that we create out of nothing. And why do you think your electric bill's up 2 times? Mine is. It's because they're shutting all this stuff down. They're making it hard to get. It's artificial scarcity. It's destruction by design. That's exactly what they're doing. So we got to pay attention to that. We got to realize that that's what's happening and exit the vampire casino. Get yourself a cigar, and you sit on the sidelines. Get your cigar, and then grab a case of Bud Light. Well, not anymore. Because Bud Light, apparently now, on their cans, yeah, you knew it would go out. So on the Bud Light cans now, they have someone called Dylan Mulvaney, and this is a guy who thinks he's a female. I don't know if he's transitioned. I don't know if he just dresses like a female. He's been to the White House. You've probably seen him, her, shim, shiz, whatever pronoun. You've probably seen this person. If you're on TikTok, you know, ban TikTok. If you're on social media at all, I mean, in anything, you know, any of the mainstream garbage, you've probably seen this person. It's a guy that dresses up like a female, wants to be a female. Again, I don't know if he's transitioned, you know, everything, whatever. But Bud Light has put a picture of Dylan Mulvaney on their cans because it's been 365 days since she became I don't know, transitioned. 365 days, so they're very proud and want to, you know, very supportive and want to support him or her, for being so brave. So they're putting it on the Bud Light cans. Now, last I heard, Bud Light, I don't know if they're using genetically modified corn. Supposedly they weren't. I'm kind of thinking they probably are now as a sweetener. They're probably using GMO corn. So, you know, might as well have some GMO people on it. I'm not buying any more Bud Light. That's just, why do these companies need to get involved in this stuff? Why do they have to? I mean, if you're running a company, you should probably just not take a stance on this stuff, because what's going to happen with them, they're going to lose a bunch of money. And I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care how I feel about it. I don't care if you think how, you know, it doesn't matter how I feel about it. The fact is, there are a lot of people who are now going to say, forget that. I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to do it. Dog's got this tangle up again. And so why would you do that if you're trying to sell something? Doesn't make any sense to me. Just stay out of it. Get out of the way. If you're trying to make money, then make money. Produce a good product. Don't be doing things like that. But Once again, it's about divide and conquer. It's about put it in your face, and everybody's got an agenda. It's not about producing something and putting it to market and, hey, buy it if you want, if it's a good product. No, it's got to be an agenda. Everything's got to be an agenda right now. Once again, more distraction. I'm talking about it, so more people are going to talk about it, and that's just something that distracts again from the real collapse of the dollar, because that is the key. That ties into everything that you do. It's your energy. Money is energy. Money should be a battery that stores your energy. But what they've done is said, we'll take the bottom out of this battery. So the more you put in, the more that comes out the backside. It's not going to hold any value. The money doesn't hold value. They don't want you to realize that and understand that. Other countries are doing that. Saudi Arabia understands that. China understands that. Russia understands that. All these other countries around the world understand that. And they're trying to step away from the dollar without losing everything, because some of them are invested in the dollar. Like, all right, let's get out of this before the whole thing implodes and everything we have doesn't go to zero, all these dollar-denominated assets. Let's unwind it and leave the bag on the American people, because the American people are going to think, everything's fine, it's all good. They're not going to understand what's going on. I'm telling you what's going on. They're robbing you of your wealth. They're stealing your energy with a vampire casino chip that they create out of nothing, and they're not going to let you cash it out. They're going to roll you into the digital system, and they're going to make you participate. They'll convince you to participate, but they're going to make you participate. Then they're going to shut it off. They're going to lock you in it. You're not going to have a way out. I see right now, anecdotal stories from friends, my own experience, it's getting harder and harder to get cryptocurrency. These exchanges are putting in, they're just making it more difficult. I don't know if that's pressure from the government. I don't know. It probably is. Don't know. But I just know that it's getting harder and harder to get cryptocurrency. There's only so much to go around. And if it's hard to get, it's going to make it harder for you to survive this. Gold and silver have moved up. I mean, there's an early awakening here. The waves are starting to crash onto the shore, and people are like, there might be a big wave coming. There might be a tidal wave coming. We better get our seashells while we can before they get buried. We need to realize what's happening. I'm using all these, kind of acting a little crazy, using all these weird analogies and all that. But in all seriousness, they're taking down the system. The dollar is imploding. And it's not a dollar, it's a Federal Reserve note backed by nothing. Go to the bank, try and get all your cash out and see what happens. And it's not even the cash, because you might get a physical representation of your energy, but they're eroding that, completely eroding that. And at some point, you won't even be able to get the cash. And the cash isn't backed by anything. You know what you should do, or I shouldn't say what you should do, what you should look into, is there is still a form of money out there. It's in the form of a nickel. Every nickel in circulation today has 75% copper and 25% nickel in it, actual useful metals. You go into a bank and you can get a box of $100 worth of nickels, all these rolls. And when you walk out, you actually have more in metal content than $100. Now, you can't melt it down because it's illegal, but you think of somebody who walked into the bank in 1964 and said, you know what, I know next year they're taking the silver out of these coins. I'm going to go in here with a dollar bill and get 10 silver dimes. Or I'll take a $100 bill and I'm going to get $100 worth of silver dimes. What's that worth today? I don't know, something like 15 times whatever the face value is, maybe 20 times, 16 times, I don't know. Well, it's probably about 20 times. So what you paid for as a dime then, it's now worth $2 or close to it. Somebody who did that back then made a really good decision. I think you've got an opportunity now to do the same thing with the nickels. I mean, it's something you can save. It has value. And the face value is 5 cents and it's worth 6 cents. I don't know, just my 2 cents. Yeah, and pennies before 1982 and some in 1982, but any pennies you get before 1982, they're worth over 2.5 cents each in copper. 1 penny, 2.5 cents. See, that's what happens when they devalue the currency. When you still have an actual valuable thing in it, metal, it holds the value. And so at some point they got to take the metal out of it, just like they did in 1964 with the silver into the quarters and the dimes, the half dollars. They got to take it out because they can't, it's not efficient for them to make it anymore. They're losing money. So there's an opportunity for you, something to look at. They did it before, they'll do it again. Get things in your possession while you can, while the system offers it up and gives you basically a free pass. You're in front of the herd. Get way out in front of the herd, because when the herd comes, it's a stampede and you're going to get trampled, and nobody's going to make the exit at that point. They're all going to get log jammed. So pay attention to what's going on. It's not about the drama with Trump, the trumped up drama, all that distraction. It's about what's really happening and how they're stealing your wealth. It is a vampire system. It is stealing your energy through inflation. They don't want you to get out of it. They want to keep it going as long as they possibly can, because that's where their power is derived. You can take your power away right now. You can walk away. You can put it in a sound asset. You can look into Litecoin. You can look into DigiByte. You can look into Bitcoin. You look into physical gold and silver that you can hold in your hand. Like I always say, I carry it around all the time. I got a 1 ounce silver coin and a 1 ounce copper coin that I carry around, just as a reminder that it's important to hold assets, sound money in your hand. And when you have something like that in your hand, it resonates with you. There's a certain frequency about it to where you just, wow, this is more important than a $20 bill. And you recognize that. So recognize that there are things that store up your value, store up your wealth, store up your energy, store up your labor. Get those things, get them in your possession. Don't let the vampires steal your energy from you. Outgame them. Don't give them your power. Trust yourself. It's really what it comes down to. You know something's wrong? Trust yourself. All right. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Hope you have a wonderful week. Don't let any of this stuff scare you. It's all drama. It's all theater. It's all an illusion. It's all WWE, baby. That's all it is. Don't fall into that trap. Know that they're all working together behind the scenes. They don't want you to win. You know what? Don't play the game. It's like in war games. Interesting game. The only way to win is not to play. Don't play the game. Don't play global thermonuclear war, I think is what they called it. Whopper war games. I think it was 1983 with Matthew Broderick. All right. Love you all. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. And always trust yourselves. Always trust yourselves.